Okay, welcome back. Here we are. This is what the hood area looks like at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how to finish off, which is all it is just to do work into the end, and just to help prevent this from coming undone while you're doing any sewing. I just want you to just do one chain. That's all you're going to do, and then we need to give ourselves a good amount of yarn to be able to whip stitch, and I'm going to just pull that all the way through there. Okay, then I need my needle. Oops. I'm going to thread the needle. I'm going to show you the last little bit. So we got your jumper that way round. What we want to do is we want to fold, I don't know if you can see on this video properly, I'm going to fold that to the opposite way. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just come through the loops there just to join that end together, and then as I look at I'm going to pull my stitches together. I'm just going to go underneath one loop from one side and one loop from the other, so we're just working on the inside loops to be able to do this stitching. And all it is, it's like you just go over, so I'm going to go underneath there and pull that through there. And for those that didn't know, that's called whip stitching, and for those that did know, that's already done this bit, please fast forward the video to the next section where I'm actually doing the trim on the edge of the hood. And for those that haven't, it really is this simplistic. Just do it. You don't need to pull them too tight when you're doing your stitching. Just do it all nice and gentle, and then the finished result is lovely on the opposite side, which I will show you when I've done. So I'm going to get all this done and get this joined up together, and yes, as you can see, it's not something that takes very long at all, just a couple of minutes, and whoopsie-daisy, there we go, there. So we're nearly at the end of making our hoodie. I do hope you've liked what you've watched so far. I do hope that you've actually managed to even crochet this so that you can have this wonderful jumper. I'm just going to come through the last two there to give away to somebody that has just had a baby, or if you're going to make the bigger sizes. I'm going to do an extra video, I think, so that I can actually explain how to increase the sizes. For that video you're going to need a pen and paper, so you can take some notes, and I will show you how I've worked out the stitches required for you to be able to do that. Just going to cut that off there, and then you can then turn your hood the right way around, and there you go. There's beautiful, this is the very centre there, beautiful stitching down the centre. Okay, so to get the curved effect, the nice curved effect I've been talking about in my other videos, and I say to you I actually do the single crochet back to front, we're going to cast on at this side. Okay, so where we have this marker there, that's where we're going to cast on, and this is so that it brings the hood into a nice place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my marker, take that out of the way because I don't want that there anymore. Okay, and I'm going to cast on at that point there, so that's the very first single crochet of my collar work that I was doing there. And then we need to, because we've got this loop there, I'm going to ignore that loop, and we're going to work into the actual posts of the half double crochet that we was doing. So You might find it a little bit awkward, I'm not sure, but it gives you the neatest finish. If you go in between, it makes it holy as you go up. So we're just going to work into just the posts, just ignore everything else, just do one single crochet in each of the posts, and that, because as the single crochet is going across this way round, it's quite equally balanced, and also we're sort of shrinking down the very I don't know, this edging area, so just to give it that little bit of a curve. So we're just going to work into each post all the way around. Now when you get to the centre point where you've actually sewn the hoodie together, you may need to skip over a little bit, depends on how your stitching's fallen, but that's perfectly alright, because you're not going to make the head hole that small, this area, that they still can't get the head in. It's just going to, like I said, we're just creating a little curve, and we're going to add the little ties, so it just makes it look like a grown-up hoodie, but there's not going to be any not going to be able to pull anything out. You know, sometimes they put a cord all the way through on adults' hoodies. Well, there isn't going to be a cord, so there's going to be nothing that can pull out. It's all done as in one piece. It's maybe a little bit fiddly. I don't think it's quite as fiddly, to be fair, as the very beginning bit, but this is probably the second most awkward part of the pattern. But it is so worth it to give you that lovely neat finish. I need to go into there, don't I? Trying to find my posts and just work all the way around. That's the post there. I don't want to go that side of the post, we'll go that side in the post then. We're still going in the post. And to there. And this just gives you that even, you know, I was on about the foundation things before. This is your new foundation for the next part that you're going to do. So this is the beginning point of the previous, where we actually added the hood on. So we're going to work into there, and then we're going to work into this point here. So I'm going to take out my, I don't want to get that little tail there. Maybe I should have sewn that in, but sometimes it's a bit awkward. And we ignored that bit on the last one, and we're going to just put a single crochet into there, and that's given us a little foundation and given us the curve. Now, to make the actual tie, we're going to chain 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. Now we're going to slip stitch back up. You can go through 2 loops or through 1 loop, it's entirely up to you, and slip stitch back up. Sorry about that. Dear me. Something's gone down the wrong hole. Oopsie daisy, I've lost it. Now let me go back to the end of my chain. Right, the end of my chain. So I'm going to slip stitch back up the chain. I'm not at all, because look, I've just dropped it again. Right, slip stitch. Oh, I'm making this look really hard. It's not this hard at all. It's just me. I'm just having a mad moment. Okay, let's just go underneath 1 loop all the way back up. It'll make life easier. There. If I go back up 1 loop. There. Oh, I don't know what it is. I think that there's something in the air. It could well be all the pollution from all the everything. but I've noticed that everybody seems to be a bit, it's not like they've got a cold as such. They keep saying that they've got like this tickle keeps coming in their throat, and well, it could just be just my imagination, but I've just noticed it's been so dry. Yes, okay, it's rained today, but right, now we're going to go back into this chain work now, and we're just going to slip stitch all the way back round to the opposite side. Okay, and this is going to give the neat curve on the hoodie, complete with our ties. And when we get to the opposite side, we're going to make the other tie so it matches. So, whoops, I've got all tangled up there. There we go. Just slip stitching all the way around, because that gives us that nice neat finish. Can we see that there? It's looking a lot neater than our ruffled edge. I mean, it wasn't bad before actually, because working with the half double crochet, it gives you neat edges. I think I just love this stitch. I think it's my favourite stitch out of all the stitches that I do. So now we're going to come back down to the beginning, and we want to go into this area again, because that's where we joined on in the first place. So now we're going to chain 15. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then we're going to come, we don't work in the first stitch, we work into the second stitch. We're going to come underneath one loop, because that was obviously easier. Mind you, I was coughing and choking at the time, so there we go. And we're just going to work the slip stitch all the way back. I hope you can see this. It's quite fiddly really, I suppose, of trying to get it all into camera view so that you can see what I've been doing, because I wanted it, my camera's been closed so you can see the work, but when you're working on a bigger garment you can't necessarily see the whole garment. But here we are, we're right near the end of completing our project. And slip stitch right back up to the beginning, and slip stitch into there, and then I like just to do one more slip stitch back into that point there, just to keep it all together there. And then I'm just going to, like I always do, give myself plenty of yarn to sew and pull that through there. Okay, so we've got our two ends that I can tie those together in a knot before I sew those into place. Oops, it easy. There. Okie dokie, so all we've got left to do now is just to sew in the last of these things. And now, if you want, because what I found is that, you know, when you've got the holes where you was working with your collar, if you just poke the actual tie through there, I'm just going to go through this side as well. You see we've got those holes in like just below the trim there. I'm just going to poke the tie through that hole, and it just helps it to sit nicely. We just took those tails out of the way. You see what I mean there? We've just got to sew those little bits in, and that's it. You've finished your little hoodie. It's all nice, it's beautiful. So there we have it. Hope you enjoyed the videos. I'm sorry if it's not going to entertain everybody, but I just think that this is just an absolutely beautiful little thing to make, and I really do hope that you like it and that you'll share it. And I actually did come into the wrong place with that one there. We're just going to move that one. It needed to come down one more hole. It was in that hole there, so it's equally balanced. There, that's better. I'm happy now. I do like things to be balanced, and perhaps I'm a bit compulsive with things like that, so maybe it's a bit of an OCD, but whatever. There you go, there's your little hoodie. I hope you like it. Thank you for watching, thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing. Please do share this video with all your friends who crochet, and have lots and lots of fun with it, and keep all those babies nice and warm. Okay, bye.